crime involving the homeless is on the rise, up 50% last year, according to the LAPD. And one of the most senseless and heartbreaking attacks in our area left a Ventura father dead. Tonight, for the first time, his family is speaking out. Here's Hermela Aragawi with a story you'll only see on 2.
Imagine sitting inside a nice beachfront restaurant, eating dinner with your family, when a man suddenly walks up to you and stabs you to death. It happened to Anthony Mealy, and tonight his family is still trying to make sense of a senseless crime.
He was married with the baby and working. He's doing really good. He was just a really good guy, you know.
Becky Mealy gets emotional thinking about her son. 15 months ago, the 35-year-old was killed in a brutal and random attack of violence that has shaken Ventura County.
This was just unbelievable, you know. You're inside a restaurant, somebody come and stab you. I mean, you think, okay, someone come up to you. But with a knife to stab you?
Anthony Mealy was just finishing up dinner at the Aloha Steakhouse with his wife and 5-year-old daughter. That's when investigators say 49-year-old Jamal Jackson, a homeless man, walked up to his table and stabbed Mealy in the neck. At the time, Mealy was holding his young daughter in his lap.
When my daughter called and said, Anthony got stabbed, you know, go down the hospital, I was like, I got gasped. I just felt it, something, you know, not when you get stabbed in the neck, you're not, you know.
On the night of the murder, witnesses say Jackson, who can be seen in this surveillance video, was acting erratically and harassing people on the promenade. Police were called but didn't come. A dispatcher monitoring that security video determined he wasn't a threat. Ventura police later said they should have sent officers, but none were available.
We had units that were in the city but were on calls and not available to respond initially.
Prosecutors say Jackson has a lengthy criminal record that includes charges of domestic violence. His defense attorney says he also has an extensive record of mental illness. After a court hearing last year, the Ventura County District Attorney describes behavior in line with that.
He started rambling about cameras in his eyes and the FBI talking to him.
The judge entered a not guilty plea on Jackson's behalf and set bail at $3 million. More than a year after the attack, Jackson still hasn't gone to trial. His defense attorney tells us his case has been suspended due to what she calls his lack of competency. She says Jackson needs antipsychotic medication and is unable to assist in his own defense. Anthony Mealy's random and shocking murder devastated a community.
I feel no longer safe in my beloved town of Ventura.
And sparked questions about whether the city is doing enough to help the homeless and police those living on the streets.
Anytime an innocent person is killed is horrible. To blame it on an entire community that has no place to live is not acceptable.
Becky Mealy will never recover from the loss of her oldest son, but is torn between her own grief and her empathy for those living on the streets.
What's everybody doing to stop this, you know? I don't think they're doing enough. It just destroyed us.
The Mealys are not alone. We have covered dozens of these random senseless attacks since. So what's behind it all? Police tell us violence directed at the homeless and violence being committed by the homeless is rising as their population grows. And the problems of mental illness and drug addiction are only making it worse. I'm Hermela Aragawi for CBS 2 News.